Hey everybody, it's Sean from Seattle Coffee Gear. Welcome back to our Dial In series. Today, we're getting a little bit more advanced and we're talking espresso ratios, specifically the Ristretto, the Normale, and the Lungo. One of the key things when we're choosing what kind of shot style we want is how flavor develops when coffee is brewing. If we want a smaller shot, oftentimes the Ristrettos are really dense and sweet and have this very juicy and vibrant profile, so we pull less water through the coffee to help highlight those components of it. For the Normale, this is about a 2-to-1 brewing ratio. These shots are in full balance and taste really good, still powerful and dense. And then we go all the way up to the Lungo, which has typically a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1 brewing ratio where they have a lot more water pulled through, so it's a lot lighter and more sippable as just straight espresso. Before we get into everything, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We do lots of coffee education content as well as machine reviews. Be sure to check everything out. So the first shot we're going to be pulling today is a Ristretto. This is a 1-to-1 brewing ratio. So for our recipe today, I'm putting in 20 grams of ground espresso, ground fine, so that way I can pull out 20 grams of liquid espresso in about 30 seconds. Here we go. Perfect. This is our Ristretto shot. Ristrettos are a really, really dense coffee flavor profile. They are sweet, juicy, and vibrant. I enjoy them best in smaller milk drinks, things like cortados or traditional cappuccinos. The Ristretto helps elevate the sweetness and really just has an awesome experience. One of the things that I like to note about Ristrettos is that they are vulnerable to being very sour. We need to pull our shot a little bit longer if it's still being perceived as sour, so that way we can develop the flavors a little bit more and get away from that pure acidic taste in the coffee. And that's it for the Ristretto. Up next we have our Normale. This is a 1-to-2 brewing ratio, so again for our recipe today, 20 grams in, 40 grams out in about 30-ish seconds. What I really like about this shot is that it is really well balanced. All of the different flavors in the coffee are just working in harmony together. Normale espresso shots are really good for larger milk drinks, things like lattes or the larger cappuccinos. They still have enough coffee power and taste to stand up to all of that milk while tasting really good and balanced. I've got one already prepped up here, so let's see how it brews. This is our Normale. This shot is really, really well balanced. It's not too acidic, it's not too bitter. It lives right in that middle space where all of the flavor components that naturally occur in coffee are going to be showing up in this espresso. One thing that I see in my coffee classes a lot of the time is people ask, well, is this a double shot? Is this a Doppio? There is a little bit of a language breakdown of how espresso ratios are viewed. For Ristretto, Normale, and Lungo, these are all ratios of 1-to-1, 1-to-2, and 1-to-3. Single, Doppio, or a triple espresso shot are the amount of coffee that goes into it. So you can have a single Normale where you're pulling a 1-to-2 ratio with a little bit less coffee. Or you could have a triple Ristretto where you're adding a bunch of coffee and pulling it in a 1-to-1 ratio. For our purposes today, I want to keep all of the shots with the same coffee dose, so I'll be pulling Doppios all day. And the final shot we're going to be brewing today is a Lungo. This is a 1-to-3 brewing ratio. These shots are a little bit lighter in body and sort of meant to be drank as straight espresso. If you want to add a little bit of milk, something like a macchiato where you're adding just a dash of foam on top makes these shots really shine. A heads up if you're brewing these at home, the flow rate's a little bit faster on this espresso, so there's a chance that it can get a little bit messy. Sometimes I recommend using a spouted portafilter to help maintain the mess in my kitchen. Here we have our Lungo Espresso shot. Much more volume than the other two that we've pulled so far. These are awesome just as straight espresso. I find them just really great to sip on when you're just looking for a longer drinking experience. And that's everything on espresso ratios. What kind of espresso do you like brewing at home, and what drink do you like it in? Do you like a Ristretto and a cortado, or are you more Doppio latte? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and keep making coffee you love.